So if you're like me, you like ribs. Who doesn't like ribs? I mean, tender, fall off the bone, nice barbecue sauce with a nice crisp exterior and soft interior. But ribs can be also very expensive. I mean, they're like $25 to $30 usually in restaurants, and about this $20 or so at the store. So whenever they're on sale, I pick some up. I'm going to invite over some friends for some oven-baked ribs using a recipe I found online. I'll leave the link down below. But I'll take you through the process, starting with the dry rub. So these are the usual suspects for my dry rub. That's pepper in the middle there. I usually also have chili powder as well, but I don't have any right now. Also, the recipe listed below has some other stuff like ground mustard, onion powder. I don't have any of that. I just use whatever's on hand, really. You don't really need to have too much of anything. So this is the hardest part of prepping your ribs. People don't know this, a lot of people don't know this, but there's this membrane, a natural membrane that runs on the bottom of the rack, and it acts as a barrier. You have to get rid of it because your dry rub can't penetrate. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. This thing right here. So what I like to do is I cut at it with a knife and use a bit of paper towel, little bits of paper towel to get rid of it. That took me quite a while, but I was able to get off most of the membrane and the extra pieces of fat. And now I'm going to transfer it to an area where I can dry rub it. And then they go in the fridge for 24 hours. Another thing to remember is to put the bone side down when you bake it. All right, the final step is oven. I've preheated my oven to 300 degrees. I'm going to put the foil down, ribs, not covered, for 1 hour. So this is what the ribs look like when they've been in there for an hour. Now this next step is really vital. You have to pour out that fat. You can't have it in the same pan. Now comes the slow roasting part. Lower the heat to 275 or 250. I'm doing 250 because my oven's super hot. I'm doing it for 4 hours. I don't want the ribs to dry out. Lather up them ribs with barbecue sauce. Alright, So as you can see, I cover every inch of the ribs in sauce. You're not supposed to for the first recipe. It's for a dry rub. It's Jessy the Rat Fink from Instructables.com. But I also use Emeril's saucing techniques from the other recipe, which is why I mixed the two together, because I didn't want the ribs to dry out. So after you do this, you make a tent foil with another piece of foil, and it goes back in the oven for 4 hours on lower heat. And you flip around the pan every hour. So this is what they look like after 3 hours in the oven. As you can see, some of the sugar from the barbecue sauce is burned. I definitely should have checked on them a little bit more. But 1 more hour to go. I'm going to re-sauce these bad boys and put it back in. It combines all 3 movies.
Do you have...
Just the ribs?
Try it. Don't hold back.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you really feel.
Mmm. It's really good. It's like very melts, and it's like not like tough to chew. A lot of flavor. Oops, sorry. Good job.
What about the potatoes?
Okay.
I think you'll like it.
I think they're good.
Yeah.
I think they're standard.
Need more salt? I didn't put enough salt in them.
Yeah, maybe a little more
Yeah,
salt.
I salted them because the meat could be salty.